For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
First of all, I really want to thank the Honorable Joachim Henry for his service to our party.
That man come, he fought and he won a lot of people's hearts. You know, people say they're not voting party, they're voting man. And they stood with Joachim, and now that's the way you're going to treat the man. I'm against it and I don't like it.
Bring the man back. Lisa is nobody to put up to bring up there. I think I'm not going to vote for Lisa. If Joachim not coming up, I'm not going to vote for nobody.
They mistreat him like that because if he's not coming up, so why should I vote for somebody else, which I don't know? I don't know the lady, you know. I never see her. I never see her face. I never see her in my life, so that means I will not vote for her.
Supporters of Joachim Henry, the current MP for Castries Southeast, expressing their views in that DBS television report, which was aired last evening. And they're saying, no Joachim Henry, no vote for the St. Lucia Labour Party. Welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin, on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. We go up until a little after 2 this afternoon, and we'll be taking your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We hope you're having yourself a fantastic and enjoyable Tuesday. So what we are realizing is that the candidate selection process is not something that will be done without there being any kind of fallout. The United Workers' Party has gone through it over the last few weeks, well documented. And the St. Lucia Labour Party is also having its fair share of fallouts. And who knows what is on the horizon as the St. Lucia Labour Party prepares to select candidates for Shrewsbury, we know what happened the last time, as well as the Micoud South constituency. And as Dr. Kenny Anthony is fond of saying, never, ever, ever be surprised by what happens in politics. We'll take your calls very early at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Via social media, I came across this post, and it's by one Jadia Japierre. And if that is Jadia Japierre, I know, she used to be the press secretary to Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony. And it says there, make it make sense. You all are in WhatsApp groups by talking your representative 24/7. You all created fake Facebook profiles to attack your rep. You all complain to every minister and everyone you all meet that the minister do this and the minister do that. You all ain't seeing rep. You all ain't hearing rep. Nothing the rep did was good enough for you all. At conference, complaining about the rep. At parliament, complaining about the rep. Waiting outside of the Prime Minister's office to complain about the rep. Now rep change, you all are nagging, crying, and threatening to protest. Hypocrite boy. That's a post there, social media post by one Jadia Japierre. Sometimes we really don't know what we want. So we complain when we have a particular party in office. You kick them out, you put a new government in office. Then you complain about that government, you kick it out, and another government comes in. Maybe that's the same situation that the people of Castries Southeast, particularly supporters of the SLP, are experiencing right now. Allow me to go through some of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there, look at me early, Tim, I'm going to try and get through today again, hopefully as soon as you open the lines. I really want to speak on Dr. Kenny Anthony's legacy since the caller yesterday invoked his name regarding the new candidate. So, 45229, let's see if that person is on the landline at 452-2979. We'll take that call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon to you.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
And good afternoon to your guest.
To a guest? I don't have a guest. I have the chat room reporter.
Sorry, to Amanda. Tim, let me tell you that. You see candidate selection, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big problem, you know. Now, we often hear politicians talk about it is the people and the hierarchy are the one and they don't have no say in it, and you know, you like as though whatever the hierarchy select, that's what they accepted. Tim, that's not true. If these fellas wanted to work with them, you can work with them, huh? Now, yesterday you said it is not the Labour Party business you want to know, but then any candidate selection have a lot to do with. First of all, should in case they win.
Yes, it does.
Because they will be paid by the taxpayer.
Mm-hmm.
They will have ministries and ministry of that, and the taxpayer have to pay these people. So we are interested to know as to who is the next candidate for this and who is the next. Now, my sources gave me that the candidate for Micoud South for the Labour Party already secured. If you did not know.
The candidate for which constituency?
For Micoud South.
And who is that individual?
And the girl name is Shanda Haraksin.
Oh, that's Nurse Haraksin's daughter.
Right. For the Labour Party. She was among the free, how they call them, the free contestant or potential. So she's the one they decide to go. Remember there was this guy called a local pastor or whatever.
Yeah.
And you heard about him?
Yes, I've heard about him. I've seen him in the news a couple times.
Right. And then the other one was with the two-time candidate before that had never won there.
Gibeon Ferdinand.
Yes, he was not among the contender this time. I think the constituent decided they want to go with somebody fresh.
I heard that Haraksin is a medical doctor.
She's a medical doctor. She's a young woman, young lady. Okay. But the thing that is concerning me among all of this, I know what happened, I could call that the travesty that happened to Joaquin. Because don't tell me, somebody won an election for you, and they won. And look at the individual in question that they beat in the election. The famous Guy Joseph, which the Labour Party have a vengeance against. The guy won. They put Guy Joseph out for you all. For some reason, and we are serious concerned, even people will tell me that's not my business, as to why all of a sudden, Joaquin Henry, well, call it a runoff if you like, had to go through a runoff. What is the excuse? If it is because that he had a medical issue before, you know, and then listen to Joaquin himself. The guy looked very powerless. And Rick said something. He said, who would not want to go with his, what is the name? I have difficulty pronouncing the last name anyway.
Jawayer.
Jawayer. So something like that. But anyway, who would not leave that young, beautiful woman there, you know, and go with somebody that that need anger management, you know, that have had a history once go to the church and do what he did. I probably believe that probably could be one of the reasons why.
Caller, I don't think that would be the reason, because in the aftermath of that incident, the SLP could have taken decision to de-endorse him. They rallied behind him, and they allowed him to contest the seat.
That is so true.
Yeah.
You're quite right. They give him full endorsement. But then the other candidate for Viewfort, a gentleman I know very well, Danny Butcher. You played the clip when Doc said that is where he have his leverage. Nobody do what they want there. So it appears that Doc had a full hand as to the selection of Danny Butcher. And then the others did not get them done. And briefly, Tim.
They didn't want to face the wrath of Dr. Kenny Anthony.
Anyway, briefly, Doc knocked, he flapping his gums and talk about persons that come before him, how he fit them. They became his friends. Some of them even became the member of his own party. Let me say that. Among all the candidates that have contested election against Kenny Anthony before, Dr. Rick Mondesi was the only candidate that was making sense. And if Dr. Mondesi was the type of candidate that used to leave his doctor's office and go out all into the shanty town to the Bakade and the Mang and do his personal campaign, Doc would have probably not been dominating that seat for so long. But then you talk about, who are the others? Did you know who is Ilus Altibus?
Yes, I know Mr. Saltibus, yes.
Did you know, you know Carl Daniel, the Indian man from Ocean?
Yeah.
You see any sign of these fellas at that time of Kenny Anthony, with all his charisma and his, style, he would have come near Kenny to win a seat?
They were not a threat at all.
They were never afraid. These fellas were just a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. So Doc cannot open his book and show you his track record, how he beat them. But the only person Doc beat was Dr. Mondesi. And Dr. Mondesi still make a very good comeback when Doc beat him, I think by 200 or thereabout votes. You see? So he cannot flap in his gums and boast on this when he know those other candidates, they were no match, nothing. And I was even surprised why a main political party like the United Workers' Party could look at everywhere and look at those two gentlemen. Every time you want to meet them is by a bar to be a candidate. I mean, that was disrespect. That was an embarrassment. But then we are looking forward to a very, I don't know whatever date the election will be called, to a very, aggressive election. I use aggressive because you are hearing it these days everywhere. To a campaign to see who is going to be emerged as the next prime minister, next party that will be won the election. But I heard somebody say there will be bloodshed already predicted. We don't want to predicted our election because we never had a history like in Jamaica and Trinidad or Guyana or every election they have riot and this thing. We don't want to do that. The only thing I don't want no party to steal vote, no party to use technique and cocoa macaquerie to win vote. If you man enough, you have a candidate face you, let the people exercise the right the way they're supposed to be, democratically, and don't try anything to win vote. Because if you try that, that's going to be a problem. Have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Richard Frederick suffers another legal defeat, ordered to pay Miniva Awards legal costs after court rejects his defamation case against her. I'm yet to see the evidence of this anyway. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello.
Hi, Tim.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
How are you?
I'm all right. How about you?
Very well, thanks. I got through again today.
Today's
I'm happy.
your lucky day, yes.
Another lucky day for me. So, Tim, yesterday, I listened with bemusement when there's a caller who called from Viewport, and he called to comment on the new candidate hand-selected by Kenny Anthony to be his replacement for the next elections. Now, that caller, he said he was no fan of Kenny Anthony. However, he went on to say he hoped that Butcher would follow in Kenny Anthony's footsteps by not engaging in name-calling and hostility towards his opponents, as Kenny contested with grace and decorum. I think he was borrowing, these words from Kenny. But you see, for me, Tim, that is problematic when the caller would say that he hopes Butcher would take Kenny's advice. I'll tell you why. We must be careful to not allow these politicians, no matter which party, to rewrite history. Let me remind your gentle and not so gentle listeners, spinners, and monitors that it was under Kenny's watch Guy Joseph was called a dog. Remember the term poodle?
Yes.
The term was used by him, his supporters, and surrogates. Tim Stevenson King, who now sits in the elevated position of senior minister in the Labour Party cabinet, under Kenny Anthony's watch, was given the name Stephanie Queen, and that the only certificate he had was a birth certificate. Richard Frederick, who has now been washed clean by the blood of Labour, was given the name Pitbull, another dog, under Kenny Anthony's watch. Added to that, he was labeled as a drug lord, money launderer by the Labour Party, under Kenny Anthony's watch. Tim Alan Chasney, again under Kenny Anthony's watch, was labeled as a massa, which is so ironic since there is zero evidence to show that Alan has massa blood in him, unlike Kenny Anthony, who is the son of an massa. Might I remind you, Tim, you yourself, whilst you were not even a political opponent of Kenny Anthony, you got labeled by him as a media terrorist. I could go on with many more examples, but I'll stop here because I think right-thinking people understand the point I'm trying to bring across. Yes, Kenny has decided to sit by the rivers of Babylon, but we must not allow him to sing the redemption song when it comes to his political career and the havoc it has wreaked on St. Lucia. We only need to look back to 1997 when he got that 16-1 mandate. What was his first move? He brought in affirmative action, borrowed an American term, which sought to address the misrepresentation of visible minorities and other underrepresented groups in employment and education. Kenny brought that term into St. Lucia, and he placed Labour Party faithful and operatives throughout the public service, which over the years, whenever we have a UWP government, they cripple progress to the point of affecting key outcomes that would benefit the country just to satisfy their political agenda. This is Kenny Anthony's legacy. We must not allow him to. There must be no place for revisionist history in our politics. If Kenny Anthony seeks redemption, let him do the penance and tell us why he truly did not take a position in PJP's cabinet. Let him come out and acknowledge the rot he introduced in our public service and apologize for it. Let him come out and tell us why throughout his 30 years of representing Viewport South, it has become a sprawling ghetto with hardly any jobs, little economic activity, and riddled with crime. Maybe then he will get absolution from us. Tim, I thank you for indulging me.
You're welcome,
I'm
ma'am.
going to sit back and enjoy the rest of the show.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see what's happening. Some of your messages there. Please stand by as we go through them and see if we could extract some of the comments that you're just sending me there. Somebody says, Tim, this lady is the NewsSpin caller of the day. And let's see if we have some more of your comments to go through. Somebody says that, Tim, look, I forward to your daily NewsSpin program. Seems like I should make a contribution to its sustainability. All right, you could do that. Okay, Amanda, good afternoon to you. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, New Spinners. A few comments here. A New Spinner says here, thanks for your program. Living out the island is the only way I know what's happening at home. Thank you, team. Appreciate you. Another comment here reads, PJP administration is in big trouble. A New Spinner says here, we need progress and development for our country. Another comment here reads, if the leadership should push out Mr. Henry, they also need to get rid of Richard Frederick from the cabinet. Someone says here, I suspect JDN knows something in the Joachim saga that his supporters do not know. A comment here reads, the Hawks always tell us that Shastney shouldn't be the leader of the UWP, but they didn't see this coming down the red tunnel. A New Spinner says, politics is about looks now. When SLP gave you all another distraction. Another commentary says, why wasn't Lisa Jawahiri appointed press secretary after the 2021 elections? Because her qualifications are fitting. A comment says, Richard must go. You can't ignore the noise, the land deal, the housing contract concerns, the questions around the transparency. Even if there is no court case, perception is power in politics, and the perception is Richard is too close to controversy and too far from accountability. Someone says there, I thought PJP says there is a process for candidate selection. So how was Mr. Butcher hand selected? And someone says, caller, you are spot on as usual. I hope you continue to get through to NewsSpin. Your comments give much food for thoughts. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much for that first of many updates regarding the comments in the chat room. Somebody says, Tim, good afternoon. I throw my corn, but I don't call no foul. God don't like ugly, and he hates a hypocrite. I hope you get it. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have another call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Hi. How are you doing, man?
I'm okay. How about you?
Not too bad at all. I'm good.
All right.
Tim, I want to speak a little bit on Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
That is a subject I think that should not run down the story. Tim, I saw that dog about a month ago in operation at the Viva Cargo Shed, and believe you me, I was amazed. That was not my first time.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing dogs working in that position, but that dog was amazing. I stood back and I watched that dog, and I say, wow, that one is special. Now, Tim, I applied for my firearm license about 3 years ago, and I'm bringing that up to mention the value of a dog. It took me about almost 2 years before I got a response from the force.
It took you how long? 2 years?
And then
how long?
About 2 years.
2 years, okay.
About 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim, I was a law enforcement officer, you know.
Right.
And I had to take it direct to the boss. And then I got a response, and then I'll finally make a long story short. Finally, I got the license. Tim, when I went to do the course, the firearm course, when I sat down in the class after about 15 minutes, Honestly, Tim, I wanted to get him and walk away. And the reason for that is because I said, but why should I have a firearm license? And then it is so tight for somebody to use the fire if they have to. And then I said, well, okay, I'm there already. I'm going to stay. But Tim, generally, I am saying that my dogs and my home is more important for me than a firearm. Honestly, I appreciate my dogs. I like them because they're valuable for me. The same way, Tim, I can tell you, these dogs that was given to the government, to the police force to do the work of discovering firearm and drugs. Tim, we St. Lucians have to value, we have to appreciate that very highly. Tim, when you have a firearm, you know that firearm is not in use. It's not in use whilst you're sleeping. Because you are the one that have to put the firearm in use. But when you have a dog or dogs at your house, when you're sleeping, these dogs are there watching over you.
Yes.
But when you are sleeping, the firearm is there sleeping. Tim, there's nothing that was more important than that, than for the police force to have that dog from the French authorities. I think that subject who should ever die. I think we deserve to get some answers to how that dog was dead. Tim, there were certain things that come into my mind, but because of your program, I don't want to say it. But somebody in authority, I will not mention name, somebody in authority have a part to play in the killing of that dog. But don't tell me the amount of work that dog has done. And all of a sudden, Tim, my dog, my house cat, will not eat anything. That I know about these dogs. These dogs are highly trained. How can you come and tell people of St. Lucia that the dog was killed because it ate rat poison? No, man. I cannot accept that thing. And I don't think St. Lucia should ever accept that. And I think by now, we should be out there on the street demanding answers how Tyson get his death. Tim, I don't have much to say, but that thing was a burden on my heart. We have been trying to put this for the past 2 weeks. I cannot get through. But I think I had to say that we St. Lucian, we deserve to get an answer, an explanation how that dog got killed. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. Appreciate your contribution. Because too many people in St. Lucia right now, they have given the impression that Tyson's death is so insignificant. It is not important. They're not curious. They don't know they don't want to know what led to its death. But as I've been saying, and I'm very confident that in short order, we'll be hearing from the authorities regarding the circumstances under which that dog lost its life. Because it does not involve primarily local actors. It's not a case where the government has to explain primarily or only to the people of St. Lucia about how Tyson lost its life. It's a case where they have to. It is mandatory. It is imminent that they will report to the French authorities what happened to K9 642. As much as many of you watching and listening to this broadcast believe that it's insignificant, or sheer, they murdered the dog, that's what some people believe, make a mockery of the whole situation. But I think, thank God, this whole matter involves French authorities. And the authorities, particularly the ambassador, might appear to be quiet on the surface. Just imagine, and I'm imagining, I've never met him, but I could just imagine his grief, his concern, his desire to get to the bottom of this particular embarrassing situation. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. Somebody says that, Tim, a lot of people want to know what happened. And if I have to call a friend, I will put pressure on this government. I will. Let's see if we have some more of your messages. Somebody says there, I think the United Workers' Party should take a more active approach in responding to the media about the issues in the news, because the media plays a significant role in creating public perception. Although they appear on the usual press conferences by the leader of the opposition, however, news items and headlines dominate the society. This is why they should take on media issues head-on and even appear on the same media houses to either confirm or correct the narrative emanating from them. I urge them to take this direct approach. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. And this one says there, via WhatsApp, I would hate to believe that all those callers, messages in the chat room and WhatsApp messages are all United Workers' Party supporters. That Labour government has left me speechless. Unbelievable. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see if we have some more of your messages to go through. Once again, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Tim, this lady is spot on. Kenny attempted to rewrite history and frame the narrative to make himself look good. Under Kenny's watch, many derogatory names and comments were hurled at many United Workers' Party members and associates. Let's get a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Tim, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir.
Tim, yesterday, I heard the Prime Minister said that, because he said it before, and he repeated himself yesterday. Tim, if you're a smart Prime Minister, or right-thinking Prime Minister, you are saying to the people of St. Lucia and the people of the world that somebody told you that scanners would be in operation. So therefore, you do not need the canine unit. So if you are right-thinking team, you don't have a scanner that is functional. Somebody told you it will work. It will be ready. So you disposing what you have that is working, what you have that is effective, what you have you can rely on. In just somebody saying to you that the scanner will be ready, so therefore you can send the dogs away, and you do not have a scanner, you don't know what time or when the scanner will be ready. So you allow St. Lucia to be open. Anything can come in, anything can go out. There is nothing to detect what is coming in and what is coming out. And after that, you have to wait over 2 years. Okay, and you have not get a scanner functional, and neither after 2 years you get a canine unit, and your minister of government is in the House Parliament rejoicing that they murder a dog, and all of you all are laughing and making fun out of one of the best police officer in St. Lucia, and the Prime Minister is telling me that he's the National Security Minister and he's feeling bad or sad as when people get murdered by the gun and stuff like that. Tim, our Prime Minister is not serious. Our Prime Minister is taking us for a ride. Our Prime Minister do not have a clue of how to govern and what to do. And I don't believe that St. Lucian will go to the poll and elect some sort of people like that to run our country. Every ministry in St. Lucia under the Labour Party is in a mess. There is not one of the ministries that you can say that are functional properly, that are making sense. Day after day, Tim, it is allegations after allegations. It is Roro after Roro. The guys not coming with an idea or nothing as to how to manage the country. what to do that will better the people of the country is always a chastening and a chastening and a chastening and nothing concrete, nothing of significance, nothing. I don't know, Tim, but I am telling you, Tim, our Prime Minister, I believe that this guy have a loose screw and he needs to just vacate office, and that will be the best thing for the people of St. Lucia. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. WhatsApp message. Tim, on the topic of VA4, I am from VA4 and have yet to see Lady Lee canvassing my area. And we are still awaiting the letters to be issued or the deed of donation as promised by the Minister of Housing in his pronouncement in Parliament. VA4 people deserve better. A call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you on the air.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
How are you?
I'm all right. How about you?
Not bad, sir. Amanda, how are you?
Good afternoon, caller. I'm fine, thank you.
Maybe you said that the authorities in St. Lucia must report to the French in connection with Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
But Tim, that's not totally correct, Because if we have to go through the interview with Ambassador Francis Etienne, he said it all, Tim. He said it all.
He does not need any more to get any more information from the police or from the authorities.
Does not need, no, I'm not saying does not need any more from the police.
Mm-hmm.
But he clarified everything, The gentleman said, he dropped a bombshell which have not been explored, The gentleman said that the death of Tyson is exactly what happened to another dog donated to the Royal Special Police Force 10 years ago, which met its demise in the same way that Tyson died, So that is saying a lot, to him. He knows how Tyson died, He knows how Tyson met his death. So, although he said that the matter will be investigated, but the French authorities already know what transpired. So some people can run sometimes, but they can't run all the time. The French already know what happens to Tyson. Because based on what the French ambassador said, it happened 10 years ago in a similar fashion. Remember that?
Yes.
Did we ever have such an incident 10 years ago, Tim?
No.
But Tim, there's a famous saying by Ian Fleming. Once is happenstance. Twice is coincidence. We must never let it happen a third time. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. Don't know if you have anything to report on. Amanda, good afternoon to you again.
I do have a few comments. Team and NewsSpinner says maybe the SLP has a good reason for dumping Joachim. The reason may be in the benefit of us all. The real reason must come to light one day. Another comment here reads, Mr. Butcher is nothing more than a puppet controlled by its master, Kenny. And NewsSpinner says there no redemption song for you, Kenny. Another comment here reads, benefits us all, the same government who neglects us and the country. Someone says a pistol permit should not be that difficult to obtain, in my opinion. Comment here reads, Kenny destroyed the country, but particularly VA4. Can anyone trust him in picking the right candidates? A NewsSpinner says if Richard really believed he still had the people's backing, he would not be panicking every time Roche's name is mentioned. Richard must go. Another comment here reads, they don't want to know because they already know what happened to the poor dog. A commentary says they're trying their best to have us forget about Tyson. Someone says here the SLP can't claim to care about crime fighting and then let a canine officer like Tyson fall through the cracks. The dog was a soldier, a partner, and he died on duty with no system in place to protect him. Let me tell you, caller, under UWP administration, our canines will not be treated as expendable. They will be trained, guarded, and honored like the heroes they are. Someone says that before 1997, we were only political during election time. After this, we have forever been in a divisive political mood. So sad to me that is KDA's legacy. A new spinner says our team crime has this country in a headlock. Murders almost every week, guns everywhere, communities in fear, but what is the plan? Nothing but silence, and we are concerned. Concern doesn't protect families, leadership does. Where's the national security strategy? Where's the proactive policing? Where's the leadership? Someone says, how can any rational thinking individual feel that this government is doing well when crime is totally out of control? Our healthcare system is a disaster. The prices of goods and services have skyrocketed under this administration. We pay the most for gas than any other country in the region, even when a barrel of crude oil has dropped significantly on the world markets. This Labour government must go. Someone says, I don't care who vexed, this SLP is the political equivalent of losing your keys, phone and wallet all in one day, then blaming the dog. The last time I saw this level of disconnect was when my TV remote stopped working and no one could find the batteries. SLP must go. That's it for now.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We'll have some more comments in just a moment. We have a WhatsApp message. Tim, KDA is the same person who called the members of the police force hitmen for government officials and politicians corrupt. Now he's saying he does not want anything named after him in this country. I say he should get named after him, except the impacts report. And from VA4, he's done nothing for VA4 but footpaths. Let's see if we have some more of your comments. Tim, under whose watch did Mr. Fede, when Fede was called Coco Loram? Okay. Let's see another WhatsApp message. Tim, they're quick to put out press releases when Shaz visits St. Jude or when they launch a candidate. But when it comes to Tyson or the rising crime rate, they're moo-moo. No press release, nothing. It's clear their top priority isn't the people. It's putting victory first. Okay, some more of your messages. Somebody says there, okay, here is the court ruling in the Minerva versus Richard Frederick matter. Thank you so much. Another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Mr. Caller, you have made me look at the death of Tyson in a wider context because of the connection between the dog and a firearm. If anyone walked through 42nd Street Central Terminal, there are K9 units with the caretakers, and you are not allowed to touch the dog, and they do not eat from anyone but their owner. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Seasons to come, we'll be hearing from Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, is also the leader of the SLP. He speaks on the departure of Joachim Henry. Stay with the broadcast.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fat, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a Big Crunch or Zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait, that's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big. Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Do whatever that crunch you want. Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. This private cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's private cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilec aveti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Couiller Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui pou ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pas venir moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
Your home is a reflection of who you are. So make it beautiful.
products at the best prices. Paint and plumbing to home appliances. Customer service, you can count on us. With experience, you can trust.
So if you need to build it, clean it, style it, paint it or fix it, chances are we got it. MNC Home Depot, better value for better homes.
MNC Home Depot, better value for better homes.
Visit us in store or shop online at mnchomedepot.com. MNC Home Depot, better value for better homes.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
At La Clinique de Corps, your health comes first with St. Lucia's only advanced 1.5 Tesla MRI, delivering safe, radiation-free imaging aligned with World Health Organization and international standards. Not sure if you need an MRI, CT, or ultrasound? Our expert in-house doctors guide you so you get the right scan the first time. One accurate scan can change everything. Your peace of mind starts here. Get $50 off all consultations with our doctors now through July 31st. We're UHC approved and accept all major insurances. Visit us in Castries or Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps. Advanced care, local access, your health reimagined.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Boutte. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home? We've got the mortgage. Starting your first business? Count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
Believe it or not, this is the most monitored talk show in the world, where we continue your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Somebody sent me this public notice, and it says that please be informed that the Customs and Excise Department located in the Maher Center, William Peter Boulevard, will be closed from Wednesday, July the 16th, 2025, to Friday, July 18th, 2025, to undertake an emergency deep cleaning of its offices. The Customs and Excise Department will resume normal operations on Monday, July 21st, 2025. Please note that all incoming correspondence should be dropped off at the security desk located on the ground floor of the Maher Center, or email to the department at Customs Department, customs.gov.lc. We apologize for any inconvenience that this closure may cause. So this department will be opening on Carnival Monday? Doesn't make sense at all. Anyway, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. Let's see if we have any of your WhatsApp messages to go through while we await your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Somebody says, I would like to express my deep disappointment with the tourism minister. No one is addressing the glaring issue of no cruise ships in our harbor. Where is the strategy? Where is the marketing? The closure of the cruise season didn't happen overnight. I remember when Dominic Fede and Alan Shastney made it a priority to promote St. Lucia, ensuring that even during slow seasons, we had at least one ship in our port each week. This administration has failed to plan and market our destination effectively, and now we are paying the price. They all care about the bacchanal. That's all they are good at. Tell the Prime Minister to stop dreaming about winning all 17 seats, with 17, especially with the current track record. The past and present cruise seasons have been among the worst we've ever experienced. How are ordinary St. Lucians supposed to survive? Let us not even begin with the rising crime problem and the unbearable cost of living we have endured over the past 4 years. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Mr. Tim, I'm sending a message for the people that want to go up against Bradley Felix. The one independent, and there is 3 others. But I will tell him something. All of them from Choiseul. But they should know, once you on Labour Party side in Choiseul, you neglect in Choiseul. I'll go back and I will say Tim of Evans called John. Neglect Choiseul. Ferguson John. Neglect Choiseul. Loncio Phyllis. Neglect Choiseul. Rufus Busquets. He work. Bradley Felix. The flex, they call him. But 2 times, that's the first time Choiseul, growing up, Choiseul ever had a Flabo win back to back. You know why? Not luck. Performance. That's what we need in Choiseul, performance. And Mr. Bradley continue doing that for us. So I hope those that going up against him, I hope they swell in the coffee. Because from the time Bradley win his seat here, but we don't from the government, and Choiseul, they're like as though it's stem of Labour Party. And we're seeing that. So I'm sending the message for them, those that going up against the best man, Bradley Felix, that represents us so well in Choiseul, don't waste their time. And I'm going to change his name as the Flex. When he beat them again, when he gets in office the 3rd time, his name is Bradley Felix. He starts with a B. I'm going to call him Triple B, because we're going to give them free nut in Choiseul. Tell them I say so. And according to Harold Sani's class, they have to put it in the pipe and smoke it. Let's up there, my brother.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. WhatsApp message, somebody says, Tim, whilst Lisa cannot be underestimated, she does not have the broad appeal some are crediting her with. Clearly, we saw and heard a vocal few who voiced their total opposition to her candidacy. There are many, many more who do not support her, but will never ever come forward to declare their opposition. They support the party. We need to focus somewhat on what cost to the SLP and why Joachim suddenly bowed out after confidently stating he would run just a few months ago. 1. Did the SLP run an internal poll and the result was dismal against Joachim? I posit Joachim was never a great contender in the first place, but SLP's campaign propaganda helped him topple Guy Joseph. 2. Left to speculation, per the Prime Minister, SLP is loaded cash-wise. I speculate to our detriment the possibilities of the Nigerian president's visit and all of the accompanying cash that we speculate may have come off that aircraft. Speculation is rife as Tyson, the sniffing dog, died just days before. Okay, I don't want to go into that. The person continues, therefore was Joachim. All right, we'll not read this one. Cannot be substantiated, okay? So we'll not get into that. Let's take a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. Thank you for taking the call. And
welcome.
good afternoon to
Amanda.
Miss Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, apologies for not recognizing her when I called the last time. You know, just want to get in and get your point and get out. You know, but greetings to both of you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Tim. All these fellas need to repent and be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ. Not in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, sir, in the name of Jesus Christ. Because that's the only person that they're not realizing that's the reason they are where they are. And they will have to answer to him whenever it's done. Tim, a good friend of mine always told me a dog has 4 legs, but it can't run 4 ways. And that dog was a very, very good instrument. It found things that we, as humans on our 2 legs, couldn't find. And maybe we could have because of money. We did not allow it to be found. But the dog is innocent without knowing anybody at all. In any country it's working. It's a dog that's on duty. And I hate sometimes when they say it's deaf. It was a male dog, wasn't it?
I don't know whether it was male or female. I don't know. Not too sure.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, in that case, then I have to withdraw that because if it was a male, then it's his death. Anyway, Tim, it's very sad to hear about the country's situation. I'm not in the country, but I listen from here because sometimes you have to resort to other places when you see some of the things other countries want to do for you that your own country doesn't want to do for you. So
where are you calling from?
Canada.
Okay, all right.
But I'm always listening. It's hard to get through, but I'm always listening.
Okay, sir.
And I'm just praying. For which I'm not a party person. But we have to look at the people that we're serving. You know, we have to serve the people. We have to look out for their interests, not because I'm on top and my interests are being met. I have a home. I'm a prime minister. And you know the other thing, Tim, Mr. Frederick, I kind of feel sorry for him. I spoke to this guy once and I told him, don't let this thing get to his head, you know. But when you stand up in the parliament and you make jokes about something like that with the dog, you know that I'm thinking of these people as educated people. Educated people. If a dog can be trained to do something like that, and we have to go through sometimes much more rigorous training to learn to be in the police force and to find and to be a detective and to be a private investigator. These are educated people, supposed to be, I would say now. Educated folk, you know. To put themselves for people outside, not in just in St. Lucia, but outside in the world, to hear them talk and to hear the things they ridicule. It's sad. But let me give somebody a chance. I hope all you all have a blessed day. I'm praying for my country, nation, wherever I am, all governments in the world. So just take time, take heart, and may God put the next person there, if he chooses, to get his mission and his mission alone accomplished. Thank you, Tim.
Right, so thank you so much for calling. Calling from Canada, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Somebody says that, Tim, what will it indicate if the SLP is returned to power next year? What will it say about the citizens of St. Lucia? Another WhatsApp message. First thing a police dog should be taught is self-defense, which is also poison detection. And let's see if we have some more messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Okay, let's see there. All right, another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Tim, could you imagine a friend of mine was just telling me how his wife left the USA because of insurance issues. She made an appointment at the OKEU hospital, have her fibroids removed, and the day she was given for the surgery, when she arrived there, it had to be cancelled because there isn't any cotton for the surgery. Shaking my head, she took off her work. Another thing, Tim, I live in Des Gazons. There's a part of the road that is so deplorable. I spoke to Kenson. He said to me, a measurement has been taken, and you would never believe what he said after. Anyway, I haven't got anything, Tim. Try to figure out what he meant by saying this. Wow, that's the politician of the day. And let's see if we have some more of your messages to go through. And remember, the number is 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. All right. Let's take a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you on the air.
Hi,
Hello.
good afternoon.
Yes.
Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Amanda.
Good afternoon, caller.
Okay. Yes, I'm there. I was just turning on the volume on my device. Yes, I just want to say that is it just me, or did the Prime Minister say that the zero-rated goods would have taken effect this month?
No,
At,
from
the
August the
now
1st. August the 1st.
Yeah, but there was a said that was already into effect last month, and he said July, or I think so, and now he's saying August.
With regard to VAT, they had to make the necessary arrangements, caller, with the Chamber of Commerce, the business community.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to clarify because I don't have front row access to information because the situation. But the other thing is, I don't know, but I find it rather interesting that I have not heard anything from the Prime Minister in regard to Tyson's death. However,
I think he has issued a few comments, nothing extensive, but he has expressed his regret and said it's unfortunate that this happened.
Yeah, but even I had Kenson speaking about it, but then, Tim, it's like even when they come out and speak, it's already too late. Like all the time, you would be expecting to hear from them. We don't hear anything. And when they come out and speak, it's like, who cares,
Mm-hmm.
But however, he's already expressing grief or whatever about what happened in Nigeria. So, if I mean, it's really interesting that you're interested in what's going on in somewhere else, just for you to make your own point. But what's going on at home, you don't care about it. Then he said that Tyson was too expensive or whatever it was. Not Tyson. Let me say the dogs were too expensive to maintain and whatever he's saying. And now a different story. When everybody knows that even your own department or government has proven that the dogs are effective, they more than pay for themselves. Like somebody said, the dog had enemies on both sides, and I believe that is the reason why Tyson is no longer alive. He had enemies on both sides. Tim, growing up, I have seen dogs eat grass on their own without anybody giving the dogs grass. The dog go to eat grass, which means the dog knows things that are good for it. A dog that is trained, that's an exceptional place to be as a dog. Telling me that dog, there's suspected poisoning. Like, up to now, we do not know anything. I think if we ever get any information, Tim, it's because of the French.
Yeah.
And that I want to say that I believe that is concrete. That is the only reason why we may get to know anything about Tyson's passing. And I want to encourage you to keep Tyson alive, as you said, because this is no coincidence. Tim. No coincidence. They're talking about the leader of the opposition is as somebody said it, he doesn't look like me, he doesn't talk like me. But at the end of the day, who am I supposed to support? Whereas the one who doesn't look like you is the one who's actually showing best interest in my own country. The parts of the country is like, I don't know if you'd agree, but we could say the part of the country is like the mouth of the country. You have foreigners handling that. You took it from the locals who were doing a good job and you give it to foreigners. And then your minister come and say, oh, anybody against what you're doing is against progress in this country. You're crippling the country by doing this, and you're saying people are against progress. I do not understand how it works. This very same minister, he said he penned a letter when he was in opposition to the Prime Minister about the situation in Banans. And he is the same one in the hot seat now, facing the situation of having to kick the people, kicking the people out without proper transitioning of replacement. I don't understand what these guys are thinking. We've been taken for a right, Tim, and the sad thing is most of us, we don't stand up against it. And there are still people who look at us and say, oh, they're doing well as a government. I don't understand what this thing is all about. Somewhere, I think it's Matthew 7, I think, in the Bible, it says, give not what is holy unto dogs, and cast pearls not unto swine. Don't give the pearls unto swine, lest they trample it. And people have said, she's a pearl. I don't want to call ministers any kind of names, but They're trampling on the country, honestly. What they're doing is not right. They know it's not right. I think the Prime Minister himself, he thought it was a walk in the park, being the Prime Minister, and now he's realizing he's bigger than he thought. But he failed to admit. And he still want to claim 17-0. I think he will get 17-0, but the opposite, the way he doesn't expect to get it. You know, you know what? I'll just stop here. I'll let somebody else get a chance and try to make another contribution.
All right. Thank you so much calling from the diaspora. Let's see if you have another call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hey, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
How are you, Mr. Timothy P?
I am okay. How about you, sir?
I'm all right. Okay. Let me tell you, Tim, I suspect
Caller, all right.
something is really wrong.
Whatever device you are using to listen to the broadcast, turn it down. Turn down the volume, sir.
Yes.
There's a
Sorry
feedback.
about that.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. Although I'm a radio man myself, but sorry about that.
Yes, go ahead.
Tim, two things I wanted to find out. One, about two to 3 months ago, the Prime Minister did say that he was going to have NIC to pay all pensioners, in other words, to increase pensioners' salary from the 1st of July.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not hearing anything from that. Now, when he say pensioners, I took it for myself, all pensioners. He did not say a particular set of pensioners. It's the same way like last year. He did say that all pensioners would be getting an increase in their salary. But some of us did not get it. Okay? Until one time when I went to the office to NIC and I spoke about it. In other words, I asked the lady who I spoke to about it, and she said to me that not for people like me. I was a little bit surprised when she said so to me, because the reason why I was a little bit surprised is because the Prime Minister did said all pensioners. He did not specify one set of people. Now this time, July today is the 15th. I am looking forward for the increase because I did not get it last year. And I'm looking forward to it. And the other thing I wanted to say also is the two tunnels we have here, the lights or the lighting of those two tunnels is not sufficient. I would like the Prime Minister to advise Mr. King, I should not even say Mr. King, to do the necessary thing to put brighter lights in those tunnels. Because I am sure that all of them have traveled to international countries like the US, Canada, and these places, and been passing into tunnels, right? And I am sure they have seen that when they're passing in the tunnels or driving in the tunnels, it's bright like if it's daytime in the tunnel. It's not like us down here. When you're passing in the tunnel daytime, it is still showing you dark, okay? So hoping that they hear what I'm saying there now, and they will do the necessary thing. Both tunnels, the lighting of them are too dark. Thank you very much, Mr. Tim.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. Let us hear from the Prime Minister and political leader of the governing St. Lucia Labour Party. And he has issued a statement to the media during the pre-cabinet press briefing yesterday. And that's in light of the announcement and the shocking news that Joachim Henry will not be contesting the upcoming general election for the Castries Southeast seat, and he has been replaced by the St. Lucia Labour Party, and that replacement is Lisa Jawayer. Here's the Prime Minister.
First of all, I really want to thank the Honourable Joachim Henry for his service to our party the Honorable Joachim Henry served the party in the Senate in opposition. He served the party, he ran elections once, and after the processes of the party were put into effect, he was chosen as the candidate for the Southeast Castries seat after he'd lost the previous election. He won, and we were very pleased that he won. I appointed him a minister after he'd been in the Senate, and he served as a minister with conviction. Our party has processes, and the processes of the party are agreed to by everyone who joins our party. Everyone who joins our party has subjected itself to the processes. And the processes, in the case of the Castries Southeast, have been effected, and Senator Lisa Joahil is the endorsed candidate for the Castries Southeast constituency, and Mr. Danny Butcher is the endorsed candidate for the Beaufort South constituency. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, these are going to be the two candidates contest the elections for the St. Lucia Labour Party. I want to thank all those who raised their hands to run for our party. Our party has a number of people, in fact, scores of people who wanted to run both of these seats. But in the case of Southeast, only one person raised her hands, and in the case of Beaufort South, 3 other candidates raised their hands. I want to thank them. I want to thank them for the disciplined manner in which they run their campaign. I want to thank the people of Beaufort South. I want to thank the candidates. They were very, very strong candidates in Beaufort South, extremely strong, credible candidates. And I'm proud that I can lead a party with such strong candidates who want to contest elections for us. I feel very proud. I feel honored. And so many people want to associate themselves with the party. But the processes have worked out, and Mr. Danny Butcher is the endorsed candidate for Beaufort South, and Senator Lisa Joahir, the endorsed candidate for Southeast Castries. And barring any unforeseen circumstance, that is what's going to happen, and we're moving on to maintain and retain these seats at the next general elections.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister.
Good afternoon.
On Sunday, we would have seen some Labour Party supporters coming out to the Castries.
I did not see.
Well, on Sunday, some Labour Party supporters came out to the Castries Southeast constituency office, stating that no Joachim, no vote. What's your reaction to this?
I have no reaction. Nobody is stronger than the Labour Party. The Labour Party is older than all of us in this room, including me. There is no one stronger than the Labour Party. The Labour Party has survived the greatest challenges. People have tried to destabilize our party. People have tried to malign our party. No one is going to hold our party to ransom. No one. The Labour Party is the party of George Charles, the party of the people of St. Lucia. The Labour Party is a party that has given the most gains to the working people of St. Lucia. Even recently, we were a party who initiated the minimum wage. So we are a party of the people. So we accept the democracy of the party, but no one, no individual, no leader is stronger than our party. And when the party's processes work, the processes will take effect. They have been tried and tested, and no one will challenge. And even that, no one will challenge the party when the democratic processes have been put in place. Candidate selection is a process which everyone who's joined our party is told before. The Honorable Joachim Henry won in that same process. You may recall there were challenges to him. He went through the same process and he won. I want you to recall that. There were the same challenges were set up when the Honorable Joachim Henry wanted to run a seat for us. The same process. Screening and selection. And Joachim was successful. So the party is stand by its processes.
The lady is prettier. She's younger than Joachim. She looks good in high heels. She's not had one serious medical problem we know of. She has no reputation for aggressive in or out of churches. And She's a qualified, certified communications expert. What more do you want?
452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. You just heard there Rick Wayne, part of his contribution he made yesterday on the broadcast. And you also heard from St. Lucia's Prime Minister and SLP political leader Philip J. Pierre. Let us find out what's happening in the chat room. And after that, I think we're due for a commercial break. Yes, what's happening in the chat room?
Tim, a few comments from earlier. NewsSpin says there is no way Labour will govern the country. Well, because there are too many false and crooked ministers running the affairs of the country. Another commentary reads, how come we know the results of an autopsy of a white man already, and we do not know of Tyson's when Tyson was killed long before this man was found dead? Which one is a priority? And NewsSpinner says there, will someone please remove the duct tape over PJP's mouth? Another commentary reads, no halls of justice again because St. Lucians were fooled, time to react. Someone says there, that's what happens when you put friends and incompetent hacks in critical positions. Another commentary reads, Labour has failed the people of the country badly in all ministries. A NewsSpinner says there, Bradley's win in Choiseul isn't just possible, it's inevitable. The momentum is unstoppable and the people are with him all the way. Another commentary says, caller, they are enjoying themselves on those international trips and not looking at ideas to develop the country or adopt hair. A commentary says, call, after 4 years, you still have not realized. The PJP always says that he will give this and give that, but it never materialized. Ask the elderly that was promised free healthcare and the pregnant women who were promised free ultrasound. Up to now, nothing has come through. And someone says there, what nonsense is the Prime Minister saying? Nobody is stronger than the SLP. That's it for now, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Just a brief WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Pierre sounds like Alicia Keys. No one. No one. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
Mark your calendars for July 30th and 31st. It's 2 days of sizzling savings you don't want to miss. Cashier Day is coming to Europa Hardware. Get 15% off all your favorite cashier gear. Wet and dry vacuum cleaners, powerful pressure washers, gas or electric, upholstery cleaners and steam cleaners that make grime run for cover. Swing by Europa Hardware and score 15% discount during the Cashier Day promotion. Remember, it's July 30th and 31st. Write it down, set a reminder, tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't wait, don't miss out. Call us at 452-0763. Europa Hardware in Massad Grocery Lane. We service what we sell.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelec at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
Whoa. It's in the feeling in our weak side. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what, we keep things flowing. People, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky, celebrating. Come, let your rhythm flow.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fet, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a Big Crunch or Zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait, that's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big. Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Crunch you want. I in a good spirit. I drink in a good
St.
spirit.
Lucia, are you ready for the ultimate all-inclusive?
Chalet Blanc, the all-white event. Tier 1 now available at Frontline Ticketing, Eventbrite, Digital Baywalk Mall, 4 Circles Ticketing, or WhatsApp at 240-344-8629. A musical journey curated by the best local and international DJs. St. Lucia Carnival Saturday, July 19th, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m.
At Sanders Golf and Country Club, Kappa State.
Look something to talk about.
Unlimited drinks, brunch buffet, top-class entertainment.
Stay tuned. This event is powered by One Golden Fox and Natalie Events.
At La Clinique de Corps, your health comes first with St. Lucia's only advanced 1.5 Tesla MRI, delivering safe, radiation-free imaging aligned with World Health Organization and international standards. Not sure if you need an MRI, CT, or ultrasound? Our expert in-house doctors guide you so you get the right scan the first time. One accurate scan can change everything. Your peace of mind starts here. Get $50 off all consultations with our doctors now through July 31st. We're UHC approved and accept all major insurances. Visit us in Castries or Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps. Advanced care, local access, your health reimagined.
It's time to paint and save at MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt. Get 20% off on all Berger Everflow and Magic Coat paint during our big carnival season paint sale. Whether you're refreshing one room or painting the whole house, now's the perfect time to add that pop of color. But hurry, the Brush and Save sale is only here for a limited time.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. WhatsApp messages 152-2979. And your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And let me see if I have any of your messages to go through. Somebody says that, Tim, a little observation. While driving on Tunnel Road this morning, I realized they're marking the road without broken lines in the Cicero Gap. Does that mean you're not supposed to turn into Cicero from the outer lane? And we have another WhatsApp message, very interesting for the SLP, that there is a process in candidate selection for other constituencies. However, it doesn't seem that process applies for the Castries Central and Castries North constituencies. Well, you have you have an arrangement taking place between the SLP and those two candidates, right? Referring there to the MP for Castries Central and the Castries North. Basically, it has to do with your bargaining chip, the power that you wield, the influence that you wield. Somebody says that via WhatsApp, tell PJP to keep quiet. In the case of the SLP candidate selection, Dr. Kenny Anthony is bigger than the SLP. If PJP did not select Butcher, Kenny's choice, it would have been political disaster in Vieux-Fort South. PJP is a rubber stamp. A vote for Butcher is a vote for Kenny Anthony. If Butcher wins, doubtful, he would be able to plan or execute without Kenny's approval. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, the call is correct. Only government pensioners got the increase. When I realized I did not get the increase, I went to the NIC and I was told it's only government workers. Why is that? We all paid the tax. And somebody says there, Tim, the Prime Minister needs to tell us whether the Vieux-Fort South candidate went through the same process Lisa did, and is Kenny bigger than the party. The SLP did not have any choice. I've said this before. If they wanted to face the wrath of Dr. Kenny Anthony, they could have decided to select some other candidate other than Butcher. But they did not want to face his wrath, and therefore they had to appease him by going along with his choice. Somebody says that via WhatsApp, Tim, I don't understand the reasoning to replace Joachim Henry. He won against Guy by, I believe, over 400 votes. It's actually 430-something votes. Why is Emma not being replaced, who won by only 65 votes? This defies logic. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Some more of your messages. Somebody says there. Somebody's accused me of having left a particular title. Yes, I did so, deliberately. So, protecting myself. That's what I'm doing. Some people are protecting the victory. I'm protecting myself for protecting this broadcast and this radio station from a lawsuit. Somebody says that that's not democracy. I don't know what the Prime Minister is talking about. Selection isn't democracy. This depicts China and North Korea. And let's see there. All right, so the subject of crime is something that has dominated the airwaves, not only in St. Lucia, but in a number of other Caribbean territories. For example, the likes of Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad, and even Dominica. So recently, the Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerritt, addressed the press on the subject. Before I go into Mr. Skerritt, a WhatsApp message, pleasant good afternoon. My wife and myself are pretty bored hearing the Prime Minister. We are in a circus. Shaking my head. That was a WhatsApp message. Okay. Let's hear from Dominica's Prime Minister, Roosevelt Skerritt, speaking on the nation's crime problem.
For national security, the Honorable Attorney General, the Chief of Police, and the senior rank of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force for joining me at this press conference. Over the past days, we have witnessed troubling acts of gun violence in Dominica. These incidents, brazen and reckless, have disrupted the peace and shaken the sense of safety that we hold dear as a people. I wish to extend my deepest condolences to the family of the victim of these violent acts and offer my sincere wishes for full and swift recovery to those who were injured. Let me be clear. This government will not tolerate lawlessness. We will not allow individuals with illegal firearms to destabilize our communities, endanger lives, and undermine our national security. As Prime Minister, upon my return to the country on Sunday, I convened an emergency meeting with law enforcement and security officials to thoroughly assess the situation and review the response to these incidents. In addition to the strategies and plans which the police have been implementing, and which I am not at liberty to explain in respect to the details, today I am announcing a series of decisive and immediate measures to address the situation head-on. 1. We are establishing a dedicated firearms task force within the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. And this task force will focus solely on identifying, apprehending, and prosecuting those involved in the possession, trafficking, and use of illegal firearms. The task force will be a multi-agency unit, drawing expertise and resources from the Police Criminal Investigation Department, the Special Branch, the K9 Unit, the Customs and Excise Division, the Dominica Coast Guard, and the National Joint Intelligence Center, NJIC. The task force will adopt an aggressive and coordinated approach to stamp out illegal weapons from our streets. And obviously, we'll also coordinate and collaborate with regional agencies. 2, effective immediately, we're implementing a confidential hotline for members of the public to report illegal firearms or suspicious activity. Any individual who provides information that leads to the retrieval of an illegal firearm or ammunition will receive a reward of 1,000 EC dollars per firearm. Your identity will be protected. Your civic duty will be rewarded. The Chief of Police will provide the details of this hotline. 3, we are also declaring a limited amnesty period in possession of illegal firearms or ammunition to surrender them to law enforcement without fear of prosecution. This is a chance for citizens to do the right thing and avoid the full force of the law. The details of this amnesty, including the time frame and drop-off procedures, will be announced shortly by the Chief of Police. 4, we are moving swiftly to enhance our crime prevention and detection capabilities. The government will begin the installation of surveillance camera systems across the country, starting with the city of Rosa. This is a long-term investment in our national security infrastructure and a deterrent to criminal activity. 5, in the interim, I have directed the police force to increase foot and mobile patrols in Rosa and indeed across the country. We must restore confidence and ensure that law-abiding citizens can go about their lives without fear. 6, I have directed that the state engages a special prosecutor to deal with all gun-related offenses in Dominica. And 7, there will be a ban on the use of tint on all rented vehicles in Dominica, because the police has advised that the majority of these crimes are carried out utilizing rented vehicles that are highly and heavily tinted. Let me take this moment to speak directly to those who believe they can operate outside the law. We will find you, we will disarm you, and we will prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. We cannot allow anyone in this country, for the illegal means, to bring fear onto a country. Dominica is a peaceful nation, and we will not permit our streets to become battlegrounds. I urge all citizens to be vigilant, to cooperate with law enforcement, and to speak out when you see wrongdoing. This is our country, and we all have a role to play in keeping it safe.
The Prime Minister of Dominica, Mr. Roosevelt Skerritt, speaking on the crime situation in his country. In a moment, our question of the day as well as the NewsSpin news of the day. But first, let's find out what's happening in the chat room. We have a final update from Amanda King.
Tim and NewsSpinner says there no one is bigger than the party, but someone was bigger than the party in selecting the candidate for V4 South. A commentary reads, SLP calling themselves strong while crime runs wild, the youth struggles, and the cost of living chokes families. That's not strength, that's straight up delusion. A NewsSpinner says there people don't you realize PJP only sounds confident when he's talking about his party? Another commentary reads, by the way, what's the process and would they apply in both instances? Asking for the no Joachim, no vote crew. Someone says there if only he spoke about the crime situation with such conviction, shake my head. NewsSpinner says here, so you're saying that the supporters of the party have no say, are not stronger than the party? Well, that response, Mr. Prime Minister, you should have directed it to the opposition because it seems like you were responding to the opposition. Someone says there the only thing SLP is strong in right now is losing trust, raising prices, and ducking accountability like it's dodgeball. Another commentary reads, that little reporter not easy. Hold your ground later. The system isn't too hypocritical. In one breath, you are claiming there is a process, and then on the other hand, someone is hand-selected under duress. Then Kenny Anthony is stronger than the party because he had his way without any process. Another commentary reads, so in other words, PJP is saying Joachim did not want to run because he said the only one who raised their hand was Lisa. Someone says there no one is stronger than the SLP. Boss, even portals have lasted longer than some of your promises. Someone says there I didn't hear the Dominican Prime Minister say that he is not a policeman, his father was. Someone says there Red Hawks, this is what we expect from PJP when it comes to crime. A plan, empathy for victims and their family, speaking with authority when addressing the criminals. And someone says here, can we exchange PJP for one of those governments, preferably Barbados Prime Minister? Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much for this. The final update from you. Our NewsSpin question of the day now. Our NewsSpin question of the day. Whose political neck should be next on the chopping board? Whose political neck should be next on the chopping board? That's the NewsSpin question of the day. And now the NewsSpin news of the day. Cameroon's president seeks an 8th term at the age of 92. The producer is shaking his head in disbelief. Cameroon's president seeks an 8th term at the age of 92. That's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.